When you got to Beenie Man now, this is when you got into the big leagues.
This is the top of the food chain in a dance. Ruff Kutt Beenie Man. While at Ardenne High, me discover Alkaline, and we do that in the background while me I work with Beenie Man. Most of the stuff that I did was in Jammy State. The first rhythm of my phrase was Mavado and the Rock. I have to remember how Jamaican people stay and dancehall fans stay. They appreciate who entertained them. Spice putting us on her platform was just more people like, all right, me see, me hear it, me go and watch it. When you want to be great in this space, people think his music alone make you great, you know.
What was the conversation like about Vybz Kartel?
The conversation was...
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today, we have a really special guest in the building. Listen, he's an artist manager, a music strategist, a musician, and an entrepreneur. You know, we have in the building today, we have Dwayne Cahban Morris in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Well gone, boss. What's up, man?
I'm good. Maximum respect for pulling up today, boss.
Yeah, man, you're finally, we make it happen.
Of course, because I've seen you on Instagram and TikTok really pop up the last couple of months. But then when I really look back, I said, hold on, this is that same man from 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. So it's definitely excited to sit down and have this type of conversation, because the path that you've walked in this business is a very interesting one. And hopefully tonight we could cover it and give it some justice tonight. You understand?
We're going to try. I'm glad to use the word interesting. It's very interesting.
No, man, it definitely is. And as we get into it, people will understand when I say that word, exactly what it is that I mean. You understand?
Definitely.
Definitely. I know originally from Westmoreland. What was it like growing up in Westmoreland, and what part of Westmoreland?
Boy, all right. So, yeah, Westmoreland, Bush. Way up in that. We grew up in a bush place named Canaan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's between South Lamar and South Lamar and Negril, right? So my grandparents are cane farmers. So I'm born in High Hills, and when I was about 10 years old, I got live at Westmoreland, South Lamar. Mm-hmm. So, you know, country people, they love give where them pick me. Somebody just pull up a yard and say, "We can't get one." So me don't know what I pick where they give it. You know, can't complain, because that is where me kind of get exposed to music, you know. So yeah, so I went to live with this British lady. I'm say I'm a grand aunt. Very weird relationship, but that is where I get exposed to music, you know. Yeah.
Okay, and then when you say you got exposed to music, what was it that you were seeing, hearing, or listening to? What was the exposure that you got at that time there?
You know, say, all right, as me say, she's a British lady, so you know, classical music straight. So, you know, them have a culture where you must learn to play piano, right? So, yeah, and plus the church thing. So, I was going to church, and, you know, yeah, I was a little youth, I play the keyboard at the church. So, them push me, I go to private lessons and them thing. They learn to play Mozart and Bach, and that was how I started out.
Mm-hmm. Was music. Okay, so then it was something that was really introduced to you. You weren't really looking to get into it. It was more introduced to you.
Yes. Just I had an uncle who was a singer. My first exposure to music, I had an uncle who was a singer. We used to have song we play on the radio a lot too. He was signed to this lady named Louise. Remember Louise?
Of course, as they say, Bun Up Louise.
Yes, man. He was signed to Louise.
Okay, what was his name?
Kobe J.
Kobe J. Okay, sounds familiar. Not 100% familiar, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, man. So he was my uncle. So he was the first exposure. Not in terms of learning to play instrument, but I was so fascinated by what he used to do. He used to go out and sing on his own system, and me wait up at night and come tell me what go on, you know? So that was the first exposure. You know, him used to sing and we just knock pan in our house and everything there. Yeah, so that was my first exposure. But in terms of like learning an instrument or whatnot, no. It came later.
And what schools did you go to?
I went to Frome School. I went to Little London Primary, and then I went to Frome School. And yeah, Frome really molded me in terms of the music. We'd have a nice little music program there. You know, so yeah, man.
And where's Frome located?
Right, you know, Jamaica have like 2 or 3 sugar factories. So Froome Factory was between Grangeville and Savlamar. So yeah, man, you have the Froome Sugar Factory. So the school was close to the factory. I guess because the kids, them parents at the factory send them kids to the school. So they build a school close to the factory.
You said in high school now. What high school did you attend?
Froome High School or Froome
Okay, what's
High
Froome?
School. Yeah, man, it was the high school, technical high school.
And what were you like in high school this time here now?
Oh boy, music. My hide friend, I want to tell you, say me never like music class at first in a grade 7.
Okay.
No, me never like, because I recorded him used to play and me used to hate recorder. Me still hate recorder. Me hate recorder because it just sound annoying. So me used to hide from music class, and then as punishment in a 8th grade, they send me go after class. As punishment, I learned to play keyboard. The music teacher was a keyboard player, so he teach me what I know. And within a year, me could have played better than him.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so then
man.
you really took, because you had the lessons before, and then you're combining what you're doing in school now, so you really knew what you're doing.
Yeah, man. So yeah, me just fall in love with the music. Yeah, and I was just in the music room. I was so much around the music teacher that them used to call me Bulging Boy, which was the name of the music teacher. Cause I just that music room with it every day.
So how did it go from not really liking it to really falling in love to this is where I want to be all the time now?
You know, I think it's just I never knew what I wanted to do. You know, you feel lost as a little kid and you find something that you feel like you excel at it early. So, you know, the girls them start look for, you know, you start get, you know, validation. So I mean, all the better. You know.
It works.
It worked. It worked. Yeah, man. Some of them girls still like me to this day.
Definitely there. And did you try out any other instrument, or is always piano and keyboard?
No, because the music teacher always said to me that if you really want to master the keyboard, you need to stick to it. So me just take him word for it and just stick to it. I mean, me can play around with other instruments, but me still I learn the piano up till this day.
But it's an ongoing process where you're always trying to fine-tune your art, the way how you play. You always learn something.
That is true. It's outside of, I mean, after later on, the music, it become a business and you try to make money from it. But just internally, I just a thing what me do. Like me get up a morning time and play my keyboard. I just mind like a thing that, you know, someone smoke and someone, you know, go have a drink. Me just sit there on my keyboard and me good.
That's how you hold your meds.
Yes, man. Yeah.
All right there. So then now, how did you get from Westmoreland to town now? Because this is where things really started to evolve now.
Me was just a brave little boy. I run from my yard, you know.
What do you mean?
So, boy, my life story. So, the British lady when me grow with, you know, as me say, my peers them give me to her. So, I think her thing was them are returning resident and them have a big yard and a big house and them just want a little youth around the place to help around. Me, I try pre my life, you know, if it become something, I think them did have that plan there for me. Them want a youth around the house. So when she realized, boy, me I try think career and me I try think for better myself, she really did start become a bit bitter with me. I'm a runway. One morning me just pop my bag and runway when me 18-year-old. I'm gonna live with my girlfriend and hustle up some money and say a town me I go because I did have a brethren where go Edna Manley. Me never know about Edna Manley, so I have a brethren where go Edna Manley. And if they come back at Westmoreland and sound bad on the keyboard and me I say that me want to do. So me spend 1 year, work up some money. Me did have my same uncle when me I tell about we sing. Him have a brother, them live at Seaview Gardens. And me link him up and say, yo, if up on the floor, you know, me want to come a town, come go to school. So me work up the money 1 year and go to town, go sleep on the floor. And walk, go to Edna Manley every day for Seaview Gardens.
Every day, that was what you're doing?
Yeah, man, me walk, go, man. And one time, when me, there are days where I used to put on a khaki like a little school youth, so I could have pay $5 on the bus. So me hustle my way every day because I never have no money. But if me see a $40,000 to go to Edna Manley and by October money done. Cause me have to buy a book. Me never did a calculator part there. To buy a book and a bag of thing, you know, and then me get one little work. Somebody did just come in at Migla school one day and they say, this was my first semester, and they say, yo, them want somebody to play one church. Just I shout it out and me say, yo, me, cause me nah no money. And it was
And
2000.
remember, you know church, you understand how it is to play in church. Too.
Exactly. So they were paying $2,000. I use that $2,000 a week, send myself go Edna Manley.
Okay, and what were you taking in Edna Manley at that time?
So I did a teaching program, and because I was doing the teaching program at classical music, I ended up studying. You understand? So because I was doing the classical music now, in terms of the pop musicians, them never really recognize me as no musician per se, a teacher boy, you know? So because I never used to get the opportunity to play at Edna Manley, you know, to play reggae music and do all them kind of stuff there. We used to go outside, go try, meet people so I can do that side there. So when me out the road and they play up on big show and they play in a studio, after a while me they told nobody at Edna Manley don't know. Cause they just know me as a teacher boy.
Yeah. And when you were going to Edna Manley, was there any other notable musicians, singers, or anybody else that was going to Edna Manley at the same time?
Later, Romain came later. Romain Virgo. Iba Cooper was my teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Iba Cooper studied with Iba Cooper. Who else did about? I know. People. I think Spice was about. So I hear Spice, but I never saw her. I know Yendi used to go dance school. Yendi Phillips used to go dance school. I can't remember anybody else, to be honest. Siobhan was singing Holiday. Siobhan was there too.
Okay, so then it was a couple of you guys that were in school doing your thing at this time.
Oh, yes. Sorry to cut you. And what the band name? Raging Fire. Everybody from Raging Fire.
Oh, they were there too?
I want to tell us that band, you know, it never called Rage, and me put that group together first, you know, enough of the musicians, you know, but it wasn't called Raging Fire. But they did have one little band, and enough of the musicians that was in the band. Yeah, man. So we did have a little school band, you know, but yeah. But Raging Fire, all the guys are from Raging Fire.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you're
right.
saying you had got the job in the church, but then you said you also used to go on the road and go play reggae also. So what got you into going from now classical, playing in church, now into reggae and dancehall? How did that happen for you?
Jeez, but me no want to show nobody at the bus, you know. So me never enjoy playing at the gospel, because from the church I was trying the gospel thing too. Me never enjoy that. I did not enjoy being a musician in the gospel industry. Me just think the musician them just cut them did vicious, man. If you can't play them, they will laugh after you pass. The gospel musician them not play. You know, and so me never did enjoy that. So I look elsewhere, you know, and me meet a few people and them start expose me to the professional scene. When I get to play for artists and do a couple shows, the Teen Slash, and me do Sting 1 year, but it was the early part of Sting. You know, where I pay for 200 artists. Yes, you know, so yeah, me get exposed to that. And Bridget named Ernie would play guitar. He was a big part of that. Enough young musician Ernie helped. Yeah, man.
So you're getting to play Sting and all of these stuff still while going to Edna Manley.
Yeah. You have to do what you have to do.
Of course, you're hustling, and I mean you have to make things happen right there.
Yeah, all this time it's still up on the floor, I see you know. enough girl me care up on the floor there, you know, I tell you. Yeah, they come and see you with me, man, cause you don't on the floor there.
What year was it that you got to see you?
2003.
Okay, so then Bounty Killer done big.
Man, Bounty did big long time, man.
Way over a decade.
Yeah, but them used to pass through. See, I want to tell her, say, me never tell her this, but first night me move in and see you them kill 2 man I get, you know. Yeah, man, the first night. Serious stuff. you know. Yeah,
So
man.
you're still going to Edna Manley, you're living in Seaview, you're hustling and all of these stuff here. So then how long were you in Edna Manley for?
I was supposed to be there for 4 years, but I finished in 3 because I never have no money.
Mm.
Yeah, man. So me finishing at 3. So 2006, I was out. Finish all of my courses them. And I was the only one who graduated in my class.
Even though you didn't really have money to finish the 4th year.
Because me know me never have no money. So me and I have to bless up NCB because NCB paid my way. I didn't have any money. So NCB paid my way, and me knows me can't feel. So I was basically a straight A student at Edna Manley. You know.
Okay, because you knew this was, listen, you came all the way from country, you're sleeping on the floor in town. This is the only way out right now.
Only
I got to
way
figure
out.
it out right now.
That is it. Have to figure it out.
Okay, and when you're done Edna Manley now, what was your next move now?
Boy, my first move was to get a woman pregnant. Boy.
It's like you don't learn, boss. You love problems.
I don't. That was my first move. In this summer, when me just go transition from broke life now to get a nice little job, official job, and get that girl pregnant. And I got by the September I was at Papine High School as a teacher. And they juggle with figuring out how me I go be a father, plus a young teacher just after, Yeah, man.
So Papine was the first school that you started to teach.
Yeah,
and
Papine
this
was
the music class.
Yeah, man. Papine was the first school my teacher's a music teacher. Papine was great. Have a very strong music program, but he did rough. It's a rough road, gangster school, So I stayed there for 2 years and then me leave. I stayed there for 2 years and then decided I started playing with Beenie Man and thing, which we not get to there see it, and then eventually me just resigned from Papine and go start playing music full time.
Full time. Okay, so then I thought there was a one point where you were teaching at Ardenne also.
Yeah, that was later, 2010.
Okay, that's way later then.
Yeah,
okay.
man. Yeah, we not reached the say yet.
Okay, so then Papine, so then this is when you're teaching, but you're still playing music on the side.
Still playing music, yeah. And then
So is this when you linked with Ruff Kutt, or this was before you even linked with Ruff Kutt?
I linked with Ruff Kutt while at Papine, and I started making the transition to do Ruff Kutt full time and leave Papine.
And how did you even link with Ruff Kutt? Who was the link to even get? Cause remember, this time Ruff Kutt is the big bad band, boss. So it's not like you could just walk up and get it. What was the link to get to them?
First, I was starstruck, man. So Ruff Kutt is just the ultimate. So the same guy named Ernie, I was playing for Busy Signal at the time.
Okay.
With the band named Caution. Drummer for Barry Skirk and Steve Lock Truckback was the bass player. Me was a keyboard player, Ernie. And Ernie got the call. I don't know how him get the call. Say, yo, Beenie Man want a keyboard player. And he called me and asked me if I wanted to take the job. And being that me in a Caution band, me say, boy, you tell me what you think. And him say, yeah, man, go do the audition because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And as me tell you, I was practicing Beenie Man set like a month before without knowing that Beenie Man were good I ever fall in my life. As me tell you the weirdest story. I was practicing Beenie Man whole show just a month before. Me and my brethren and my yard for no reason. For no reason. So when me go in a Beenie Man rehearsal, me just play the entire show. Everybody in a Ruff Kutt look like, who that brother, yeah? like Beenie Man say, yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah.
By the next weekend, I was on a plane.
Gone. Okay, so before we even get to Beenie Man, Caution, how long were you playing with Caution for?
I did like a year with Caution. I think it was more than a year because it was not like a full time where, Caution was more like we have a show, we go do the rehearsal, and do this. So I was teaching while I was working with Caution. So I think it was maybe a year and a half. Yeah.
And you said it was Busy Signal. Who else were you guys playing?
We played for Busy Signal, Elephant Man, when Ellie have show too. I did a stint with Jacure too, but it wasn't with Caution. But it was more Busy and Elephant Man. Those were the two main people that would do shows.
And were you flying out with Caution, or this was more
No,
local?
we never do. No, I never did any show. Bro.
Yeah. Okay, so it was a stint, and you said Jacure too. How did you link with Jacure?
Same link again. All of them come through Ernie.
Mhm.
Ernie, I go always say, yeah, man, me have a bad little youth, you know, me can play keyboard. Me send him, man.
Mhm.
You know, so that was how that came about.
Okay, so then those were just like more like side gigs here and there.
Yeah.
But when you got to Beenie Man now, this is when you got into the big leagues.
Yeah, that was the job. That Beenie Man was my first official job where it was full time. I didn't have to do anything else. I never had time to do anything else. Because we're always on the road.
Mhm. Okay, so at this time you had stopped teaching at Papine at this time.
Yeah, I couldn't teach anymore. Because we're, as me say, we're up on the road every weekend. You know, I would leave for a week sometimes, you know. So I was doing Beenie Man full time.
And what year did you get to Beenie Man?
2007.
2007.
2007. Yeah.
Mhm.
And 2007, 2008. Yeah. Yeah, man, 2007.
And you were playing, this is Ruff Kutt, so you're playing strictly for Beenie Man, or you guys were still playing for other artists at this time?
So here, the boy may end up in a whole heap of banger with this thing, you know. So Ruff Kutt would still do shows where the issue was Beenie Man and Nigel stuff. Them did have the issue. Me don't know nothing about it. Right? So Beenie Man needed a keyboard player. But Ruff Kutt will still do. Say Ruff Kutt do a Sumfest. Staff sometimes would come up and play for the other artists, them, and then when Beenie Man come up and come off and me play for Beenie Man alone, a whole heap of them situation they may end up in it, right? Until after a while, me start do the show them with Ruff Kutt. I think after them realize that me can manage, you know. Then we met me do the entire show. And so especially after start work with Sean Paul now, he became very occupied. So then me have to do most of the shows them.
At that point there. So then this is when you guys are starting to, as you said, you were on a plane right away after you got the work.
Yeah, I think it was Antigua, Barbados by the following weekend. We just out.
And what was this like the first time you're actually leaving the island to go play music? What was this like?
It's an out of body experience, you know. You know, this is what you've been working for, you know, and a Beenie Man. Like people are like, this is the top of the food chain in a dancer. Ruff Kutt, Beenie Man. It doesn't get better than that, dancehall wise, you know. So of course you shake, man. Me shaking on my shoes, hold it, man. But nobody, me can't show that, you know, because Jammy will race me up. So, you know, I'm a virgin still, me and Jammy great. But yeah, man, Jammy really, that was the training ground. You know.
So what were some of the big shows that you remember doing with Beenie Man and Ruff Kutt at that time there?
So we okay, one of the shows I'll never forget, we did Nigeria 1 year. It was like 150,000 people. It was massive. We did the Summer Jam. Summer Jam is always huge. There was a show, and we would do whole heap of festivals where whole heap of artists depend on it, but we did Beenie Man in Paris. Like in the square 1 year, Beenie Man alone. There was like 15,000 people there. It wasn't a festival like him alone. You know, it was amazing. Anytime we go Africa, man, sold out. Beenie Man is massive, you know.
The way how you just said, okay, anytime we go Africa. So my question is, how many times have you been to Africa, Babs?
Oh God. But I've been to Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire a few times, Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe like 2 times, South Africa. Where else? It's 7 or 8 countries or so I've been to in Africa.
Because I don't think people really understand the magnitude of Beenie Man, especially when Beenie Man was at top of his game, what he was doing worldwide.
Yeah, you have to see it outside to know. And that's why a lot of Jamaican people don't get it. I mean, no, they don't get it because, to be honest, whole heap of artists, when me go up on the road and go say Toots and the Metals or Jimmy Cliff, I'm like, yo, them people, they are superstar. Because you never see them at Jamaica. So me understand. That's why sometimes people argue with me because they don't see it from the angle that I see it. You know, if you never go see Beenie Man, listen, we were in Finland 1 year. And you know, sometimes you up on the road and say, boy, a far road country with you, we can't just walk on the road. and go idle, you know. So we and Beenie Man decided we go walk down the road and go out KFC. One little girl was in front of we. Now every time she turned around and look, so we say, yo, Beenie, you know, some feast that girl they recognize you. Can I tell you by the time we go in at KFC, you go join the line. Me not at KFC, me not remember what. We go join the line. We couldn't leave, you know. We couldn't leave. Me don't know who she messaged. But outside was packed of people. You understand? So the man was a superstar. Man. I don't know what it is now, but I can tell you when I was touring with Beenie Man, straight superstar.
And how long did you tour with Beenie Man?
I did 7, 3, or 6 years full time. 5 to 6 years.
That's how long you're on the road with him for?
Yeah, man.
So you did all of those big shows in Jamaica, I guess the Some Fests, the
Yeah, man.
Stings, the
All of
everything you could think about.
All of it. I know there was a band change in 2010.
What do you mean?
And let me tell you that part, yeah. So there was a big fallout with Beenie Man and Ruff Kutt in 2010. You know? Yeah, man, there's a big fallout. Bad man business, this. But we normally do our downtown, Jamboree downtown for daughters them every December. But Beenie Man also have a Africa trip every December too. So it this year it clashed, right? And the man them say Ruff Kutt have to do the other show. And Beenie Man say, yo, my band have to come on the road with me because we are going to Nigeria. No, I think I Sierra Leone. And no man no board the plane, only me alone. Me alone board the plane from the band. Right? And when we reached, we sent for Steve Luck and Kirkle Dove. And the trio we played the show. And when Beenie Man come back to Jamaica and was done with Ruff Kutt, that is how I started Zagga Zow band, which was his new band in 2010.
Okay.
Enough people don't realize that, yes. So the guys that were play for Chronics, that was Zagga Zow band. That
was originally Zagga Zow band.
Yes.
But you see, this is why I like to have these conversations where you'd see different band people on stage doing stuff, but you don't really know the intricate details of how this puzzle came together. You understand?
Because that's why there's a perspective. If you don't sit in that seat, you have no idea that all these things were going on. And it was a big, serious thing, you know? So we end up that the man them say, yo, when Beenie Man come back, Beenie Man say, yo, no Ruff Kutt to him thing.
So, okay, so then you were still Ruff Kutt, or you're now strictly Zagga Zow? Where were you in this situation?
Yeah, try to get me mixed up, you know. There was a big fallout, and Ruff Kutt they stopped talking to me for a long time because they felt like I betrayed them, because in their eyes I should have taken the side of the musician of the band. But I don't think they understood that I was in a very precarious position, because the truth is, me worked with Beenie Man. I was never a part of Ruff Kutt. In terms of their organization, and Ruff Kutt is a very serious organization that the paperwork and the business and whatnot. You understand? So I was never a part of Ruff Kutt. I played with Ruff Kutt, but was never a part of it. You understand? So when Ruff Kutt went left, I was employed to Beenie Man. So I stayed with Beenie Man. You understand? Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I could understand that part there. So then there was no more Beenie Man Ruff Kutt. It's now Zagga Zow. You guys had to put
it was Zagga Zow. Yeah, get those guys and have to teach them how to play dancehall, because they had no.
So what were they playing? They were playing more reggae.
They were just young. They were just young guys at Edna Manley. Final year, sit down up there and do nothing.
Okay, so then that's how you went back and put together the band, was getting people from Edna Manley that you went to before.
Yeah, that I knew them. So I went there, get them, hire them, train them, teach them the set, rehearsal weeks upon weeks, and then we go up on the road.
Got you. And then this is how you became Beenie Man's musical director.
Music director, yes.
Got you. Because I was thinking when you're in Ruff Kutt, I said, how are you the musical director of Ruff Kutt? But now what you're saying to me makes total sense.
Total
now.
sense. Yep.
Yeah. And how long did you do the Zagga Zow band for?
It was by 2012, it went left.
What happened here now?
What happened? I think young and inexperienced. To be honest, me personal was getting annoyed with a lot of it, and also payment structure. I paid them because I hired them. I'm the music director. Apparently, they went and did research and said that they were not getting equal pay as me. So it was a big issue. Send me a rob money. Hey, no, me not rob money. I hired you and I'm paying you. And there's no way you can come here and expect me to pay you equally in a job that I hired you as a nobody. You know? So yeah, so that started happening. And then like whenever we get called for shows, Beenie Man thing was band-wise was going a little left, right? So whenever they call, they try to renegotiate the fee. And I'm like, yo, we're not working at 3 months. You don't have to pay with full money, right? So they would call like one of the musicians in the band and say, I want to, yeah man, we go do it. You know? So yeah, it was just undermining from my person. And we just say, yo, right, cool.
Okay. So then this is basically your second hard lesson in the music business. The first one was Ruff Kutt. Now the second one here is with Zagga Zow band.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is 2012 when all of this happened here now. Okay. Did you go to like BET and all of those stuff there with Beenie Man? Were you part of all of that?
No.
You didn't do none of that part there. So, okay. So then now we're up to 2012. Zagga Zow band is basically disintegrating, falling apart. What are you doing next now?
So while Zagga Zow, remember now, while Zagga Zow was going on, I was always playing in the studio sessions, make rhythm, whatnot, and yeah.
So you had gotten into studio in between all of this time here now?
Yeah, man. Me I play in a studio from 2008. I was always doing, because remember, you know, studio is like a man call it, yo, come play on a rhythm, whatnot, right? So I was always doing that. Well, so because like a touring musician, you go up on the road this weekend and 2 weeks to their yard, you know, do nothing until the next show come up. So you have to fill in them empty space there. So studio was always my thing, right? So that was running parallel with me touring, because touring was not a 9-to-5 job, right? So I was in the studio making rhythm, doing that, exploring that side of music the entire time, right? So in 2010 now, I decided that, you know, I'm going to start work with artists or explore that avenue, right? So that was while I it's a whole heap of layers, you know. So while working with Beenie Man, again, remember touring is not a 9-to-5 thing. So I was working at Ardenne and doing the studio thing, same way.
Okay,
right?
So you have 3 things that you have going on at the same time.
3 things going on. So I have time when I was said to Ardenne, yo, for the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to be at work. So I fly out. When Ardenne with All Together sing, I was not there, even though I was the director. But did their friends with Beenie Man, you know? So yeah, so them all of those things were parallel running at the same time. So I while me had play music in studio and whatnot, me I explore the whole idea of having a recording artist and what. While at Ardenne, me discover Alkaline, and we do that in the background while me I work with Beenie Man. It was while doing some of the links them that I created. It was while and toward Beenie Man, me take DJs information and them thing that and send them
because you know what you're working with also.
Exactly. Selling them Alkaline songs and whatnot. So that was going parallel. Right?
Okay. So before we even get to Alkaline, because I want to know with some of these sessions that you're working on, what studios were you working out of, and what were some of the rhythms that you had worked on at that time there?
Okay, so most of the stuff that I did was in Jammy's studio. That's in Waterhouse. So they all rhythm them for Jam 2, John, and Baby G. The first rhythm of my phrase was Mavado and the Rock. That was the first rhythm of my phrase. That was in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So a whole heap of rhythm, whole heap of albums. Jackie album after I come out of prison. I work on a lot of those songs. I don't like me have to go through the list. Whole heap. So cool. Whole heap of conscience do something. It's a lot of them, right? When me phrase. Because as me say, as a studio musician, you just in a studio, phrase beat. Sometimes I want to tell you after you done phrase them and the producer get them, you don't even recognize that it's the same rhythm when they're done with it. Yeah, man. Enough time, man, if you call me and say, yo, I see a rhythm that will work, but because them do so much to it and manipulate why it sound like that, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so it was a lot of production, but even how do you get to somebody like King Jammy to say, okay, this is the studio I'm going to be working on? Because this is King Jammy's we're talking about. But this is Joe Tom down the road.
Can I tell you again? Ernie again.
We have to big up Ernie.
Yeah,
Ernie
man, we have
seems
to
to be the man that makes all the moves.
Yeah, man. Ernie carry me down a jammies. Ernie carry me down a jammies because he used to record stuff with Loot and Fire and whatnot. And he used to carry me and me used to play the keyboard and let Baby G them hear me and be like, yo, that you a bad man. Come back tomorrow. And then come back the next day. Until you just come back.
So when you were linking with Jammies, was DeMarco over there also when you were linking with Jammies?
He would, yeah, man, DeMarco would come back. But I think DeMarco really he wasn't there, like, he did a bus artist at the time. So they come and sit down and care. Sometimes they'd work in the later sessions, more private sessions, and not open. Yeah, man, but DeMarco was around. DeMarco Suko was always around.
Soko Conley, because Conley was another one that was doing a lot of the studio work also.
Conley was always around too. Yeah, man.
Okay, so it was like, and all you guys were basically give or take around the same age, so you guys were the youth them around Jammies doing a lot of work. Definitely. So you said you're doing a lot of phrase. Did you actually build any full rhythms, or your thing was more or less to put phrase on the rhythm?
No, man, I only put full rhythm in build, man.
Full rhythm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I hope I full. In terms of so I'm gonna be honest, like in terms of the full rhythm, a lot of it was album stuff. So like they would lay the vocals and be like, yo, build something on this. Instead of juggling rhythm. Most time for the juggling rhythms, is just phrasing. Like Jam 2 usually having drums now. Baby G would be like, yo, me have this, but what we do, we would add some more stuff to it, or, me have the drums, or phrase it up or whatnot. You get me? Yeah.
So you're doing enough phrasing and stuff here. So, okay, so then, as you said, link you with Beenie Man, Zagga Zow band. You're now working at Ardenne. How did you get to start teaching even at Ardenne in the first
place? At Ardenne, I did my teaching practice at Ardenne years before while at Edna Manley. So that was my link to Ardenne, and I met the music director, then worked with teaching practice for like 2 months. Stephen was at Ardenne at that time when we had the teaching practice. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that was how I know them. So when they needed somebody to fill, the director just called me and said, yo, I remember you. I feel like you can manage the job.
Yeah. And then but as you said, when you're on the road with Beenie Man, this is really where the idea of saying you want to get involved with artists basically came to mind at this time here now.
Yeah. Because honestly, like, I wanted to make the transition from being just a musician. I saw a lot of things with management and Beenie Man where me just sit down and me like, yo, me could have do a better job with this. To be honest. Beenie Man had a road manager named Kevin. One of the best road manager me ever see and know. Just how he operate and how he do things. And after a while he left the crew and you could have just see the dip in just how things run, And me just feel like, yo, me could have do the things about Kevin though. I'm that having that hindsight and that insight of see things before it happened. I felt like I was seeing it. So that was what me always think. I could see it.
You could see it ahead. And how come you didn't approach Beenie Man and say, hey, this position is now available. I want to try at this position?
No, they didn't want anybody. I don't think they wanted any. They were cutting staff. You know, they were cutting staff. They honestly, like when we just started with Beenie Man, the whole thing was this very big, you know, big team, big management and whatnot. And every year it just got smaller and smaller, you know, until it was just like when I just started, it was like 15 of us were gone.
And this is including like Shocking Vybz crew, the rest of the artists and managers.
No. Just musicians, engineer, chef, impersonal managers, the road manager, plus him assistant. Yeah, it was like 15 of us.
That's how much you guys were. That's how big of a crew to the supporting crew for Beenie Man at one time.
Yes, 15 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Then it cut down to 13, and then it got to like 6 or 7 at one point. Yeah, man.
Because I guess at this time the industry itself is changing. All
Yeah.
type of stuff are going on at this time, you know.
Yes, but I also think, boy, you know, I get myself in that trouble. But as I said, the insight and the hindsight and having, I felt like it was not being built and maintained, you know, to be honest, from me just looking. I felt like if it was being continuously being built and maintained, it could have stayed. Barry Salmon still have a big team. Yeah, even though the industry has changed, you know. So yes, some people, there are some things, you know, like the Kataros. Me see when band get a little smaller, we not have 3 background singers again, but him still maintaining product. You understand? That's really the thing. I think if you really manage that, you can maintain the product.
And that's really what it comes down to a lot of times is maintaining the product. Could I maintain, if there's 12 of us, could I maintain it with 8 of us, or are we going to see a dip?
Is it management? Everything is just how you manage that.
That makes sense there. So, okay, so then you're saying you got the idea, ready to deal with artists now. So then how did Alkaline really pique your interest as an artist now? Say, this is probably something I want to pursue.
He had a song where said Gugu Gaga. Hey. And I was like, this kid is crazy. Like the first time he ever shared that song with me and him talking yesterday, we right. Him just never somewhere Gugu Gaga. I just thought it was just like, this is creative. And him have him like a phone and him a shoot music video and him a try make it creative. I was so impressed because I say, if you don't have no professional, nothing, and you can make this, imagine if you get the support, you know? So, and that's what I thought. I knew I could have given him that professional support, you know, and so said, so done.
So it was more you approach him, he approached you, or you guys just happened to, even though yes, you're the teacher and stuff, or you guys just happened to get, what was that match that made you guys actually connect?
A girl in his class sent me his music. A girl in his class sent me his music. And when she sent me the music, she said, boy, he's looking for somebody to work with, you know. And then me and him link up. He was in a competition at the time. And me go around and just try it. Our dancer, him and Massacre made the finals actually in that competition. Yeah, man, our dancer. Him Massacre and one next year named Pencil. It was a big thing in them little circle. It was a big thing. You know, Jamil was in that little circle too. You know, so me did I support him at the time and just there around and feel him out and, you know, there around, you see, where him headspace and whatnot, you know, support him and, you know, just there. So the first year I was just there as a support, you know.
And his name was Alkaline when you met him also?
Yes. His name was always Alkaline from me meeting him, yeah. He didn't change the name.
Okay, so then when you guys connect, so it was just there as a support, as in, okay, we're going to link and see what was going on at first. So it was nothing too really serious at first?
No. The other thing was that he was under 18, so he couldn't do anything professionally. I mean, never care him going nowhere either, you know, because I'm underage. So we had to wait until he was 18. So when he actually turned 18, that was when we started professional.
And the thing with him, looking back at some of his interviews and stuff when he was saying he was 19, at first I remember seeing those interviews like years ago. I thought he was joking. I thought he was a big man just making his age like 5 years younger or whatever the case is. just to hear how intellectually
Intellectual.
he was, how he could speak and how he articulated himself. I said, no way, bro. There's no way
Yeah, man.
this guy's 19.
Yeah, man. I like a boy.
And I'm pretty sure something like that sparked your interest too. You being an educator where, okay, you're into education and stuff. You understand music. And then now this brilliant kid comes along. It's like, holy smokes.
Yeah, of course. It was brilliant. And you see, as I tell you, having hindsight and insight, I saw where it could work.
Mhm.
You know.
Because you were inside of the machine already, you know, as you're touring with Beenie Man, Ruff Kutt and all. So you understand certain things that people outside of the machine can't see or understand at that point there yet.
100%. There was nothing like him out there. And in the middle of all of that, Kartel was having his legal battles. So me knows if Kartel go away, he's gonna take over. It was strategic. You 100% knew.
And I'm glad you're the one that brought that up, because that's something I was going to bring up later on in the conversation, but I'm glad you brought it up first. So then, okay. So then when you guys decided, say, okay, now he's 18, he's legal, he could do whatever the case was, what was the plan? What did you guys figure, this is what I want to do? And did he come with the ideas? You guys came with it together? What was the plan right there?
So the first thing I did was I wanted Jamaica to get used to his voice. So we got an advertisement from Digicel.
Okay.
Yeah. And we use his voice to voice the advertisement. So it was their campaign in 2012. So all of December, Jamaica hearing voice, I had no clue. So when they eventually start hearing the music, there's something that them cycle like, me know what the voice saying, but them now connect the dots.
And it was so Digicel. So you guys were doing some studio work or something, and Digicel,
man,
some advertising.
Yeah, well, yeah, we had a link with an advertisement agency. They contracted us to do an ad, so we could have used anybody to do it, but we wanted, because we're working with King, we wanted to use his voice. So we did the ad, we worked on the music, write the jingle and whatnot, and then send it to them. They accepted it. Pay away $300,000, and we take it and shoot 2 music video. So his first 2 music video was from the advertisement that we get from Digicel. Church Folks.
Okay, because I know Church Folks was the first big song that you guys were running with. That was the one that you said, okay, he's here now. This is what we're trying to push our hardest, right?
Yeah, man. That was Digicel advertisement money.
You learn something new all the time. I would never guess that whatsoever.
Know.
Yeah. Okay, so then now with Image and everything that he was bringing to the table, who came up with all of that right there?
So with the whole I thing, he brought it to me. And I was like, there's no way we can get this done. But when he had
because he wanted like really to tattoo his eyes, or he wanted the contacts, or it was just a thought.
We just didn't want to get it. So my thing was, as the manager, I need to get it done because they bring it to my attention. So me go research, and we find whoever we need to get done, and we just get it done, you know. That makes me up, you're not gonna make him fun come after me, because every time we talk about him, they don't want to hear the content I would have to say. They just come after me. Even though
we know how they are.
In 1 minute.
Listen, we know how Vendetta is. We know how Gaza is. We know how they're. But you got to remember something. We're talking about insight where they won't have no knowledge about this unless either he says something, you say something, or somebody else. So this isn't something that they would readily know, Steve. So, it didn't go so.
And that's the thing. I think that they don't, I think they appreciate information, but the fact that it's not coming from him and never will, they will question the source. Even though everybody who was ever close to this know that I don't talk rubbish. Anything I say to you is 100% accurate. before. So I've never done an interview online. Never. You understand? So in fact, that is why I'm so careful of the things that I say, because I know how they are. Because they don't see it as insight. Because I have to remember how Jamaican people stay and dancehall fans stay. They appreciate who entertain them. Me, I know an entertainer. I am of no entertainment value to them. I have no hit song. So me's a nobody. You understand? So my words don't have weight to a lot of them. You know, some people who value the information, but the fanatics, the fans, nah, they don't value it. No matter even if a fox me at that.
I got you, because it's not. This is entertainment. This isn't about right or wrong. This is entertainment. And
Yep.
if you entertain me,
That's it.
that's who I'm rolling with.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, eyes and everything. What was the conversation like about Vybz Kartel? Because again, at this time, 2011, Kartel had gone to jail. There's this open space now for this kid to come in. What was that conversation like? I'm going to tell you something after you tell me.
The conversation was, we need to fill the space by any means necessary. And that's all the moves were strategic. The Notnice move was strategic. The Anju Blaxx move was strategic. You understand? The controversial stuff were strategic. Because if you're going to replace something, you have to match the energy. You understand? So we matched the energy, and we figured out a way how to match the energy, and it was an everyday conversation. Like, there was no day off. We needed to match the energy and fit in at the space.
Mm-hmm. Because to me, again, when I first heard Alkaline really get his break in like 2013, 14, that time there, and people were saying, okay, he sounds like Kartel or whatever the case, I didn't really pay it no mind. But then after I went back and I really said, okay, I'm going to study before we have this conversation and look at things. To me, what I'd seen happen, you guys or whatever, took the Kartel framework and then applied Alkaline over the framework, where it's like, okay, this is what Kartel is doing. Okay, cool. We're not going to become Kartel, but we're going to take the Kartel framework and build around the framework.
That is how organizations are built.
Yeah.
Every bank uses the same framework. Every insurance company uses the same framework. Their name different, or how they approach it is different, but the framework is the same. Mm-hmm. And a lot of artists are like that. People just don't realize that Beyonce is Tina Turner framework.
It's just what you layer on top of it. But this is where he got even. I don't know how quick you guys or he did or whoever understood the hate. The more I keep denying it, is the more they're going to keep asking. So it's like I'm basically gaslighting these people, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. How quick did it take you guys to really realize, say, hey, as long as we don't basically say yes and big him up like that too much, people are going to start asking and it's going to keep creating controversy.
From the get-go, we knew it. He can, because he see it as, yo, you give up your 3 points. You can never say that. You don't give up your 3 points, you hold on to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, when you want to be great in this space, people think his music alone make you great, you know. Like look at Michael Jackson. People don't even understand that Michael Jackson made the news more than his music. So a lot of times. Remember, every 2 years the man have a case. Right? So he made primetime news so often. And people just think that the music alone make him rich. No. Mm-hmm. Right? His Michael Jackson get a #1 song. Him making the news one night gave him more popularity than 10 #1 songs.
And you guys knew this going in, or this is something you guys figured out very quickly?
We figured it out very quickly. Very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. You know, because as I tell you, like, the youth is smart, extreme, and brilliant.
Brilliant.
He's brilliant. And I hope the fans them hear me say that. Because I say it all the time. He's brilliant. You understand? And he stretched me. In terms of, like, remember, I was an inexperienced manager. And me never, honestly, on the get-go, I started telling you, I had insight and hindsight and being in the industry, and I always watch and say, boy, I could have done this better, whatnot. But in terms of promoting a young artist, remember, I was working with Beenie Man. You walk in one space, everybody say, welcome, and them know it. But when you walk in with an unknown artist, people are looking at you like, oh, no. So I had to totally reprogram my mind that I'm not going to walk in any space and just get welcome if you kick off the door. And you hear him say that a lot of time. We are going to kick Cahban Rekords a kick off the door. Because that's how we felt. That's how we knew we were going to get in the industry. Kick off the door. Nobody now go open it and let you in.
Yeah. Makes sense. And did you guys come up with this 2016 plan from beginning also, or this came along?
No, that was not from it was not from the beginning, but it was along the way.
Because a lot of stuff revealed, but this was way after the fact. We're not even ready to even get there yet.
This is it's psychology. It's somebody walking up to you and say, "Yo, me have something to tell you," and walk away. That's it. Yeah. You will never forget that moment until them tell you. And it could be 10 years from now. But you're gonna hold on to that moment.
Very strategic, extremely strategic. You understand? It's been a while that I've seen, when you actually see how the sausage is made, it's been a while that you've seen something that was so strategic, almost from get-go, or learning from things happening in real time, where we could adjust the plan right away and say, okay, this is what's working, so let's go for it right away.
100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. So even management now, did he actually sign, or was more of a verbal contract? You guys?
No, he signed a 5-year contract. Yeah, but I didn't do due diligence with the contract.
What do you mean by that?
It was not properly written contract. It was not properly written contract. So the contract did not have an exit clause, which means that if he wanted to come out of it, we didn't have a clause that would address how we'll deal with that. So he realized he could have walked. And they figured that out very quickly, with a lawyer just looking at it and say, "Oh, we can get you out of this."
Okay, we're not ready for that part there yet. There's some grounds we got to cover before we get there. So you guys are doing your stuff. When did you get into now production now, where actually Cahban Rekords was a thing where you started to produce?
I started in 2012. Started in 2012 when me and Chris Russ, he was our business partner at the time. We decided, so boy, we're gonna start a company together, and we said we're gonna record some artists on a rhythm, the clip rhythm. So on that rhythm we have Chronics, Alkaline, Jammy, Sevanteen, and a few other artists. It took us a year to do. 1 year. Took us 1 year to record those young artists, and after that we decided, so boy, we can't do the juggling. It's too much. So we're just gonna do manager artists. We're gonna just focus on managing one artist.
How did that rhythm do for you guys?
It was good. The Chronic song was on the Major Lazer project.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it called When I See You. It did pretty. I'm still get some money from that song to this day. Big up Chronics. But yeah, man, that song has paid me well over the years, to be honest. Yeah,
okay, but as in you guys were a new company, so I figured you guys just wanted to look for new artists, or you guys couldn't get to the bigger artists?
We couldn't
Why
get
did
to
you
the
guys
big-
just choose? Okay.
We couldn't get to the big artists. Remember, big artists, you have to pay them for us, Our bad man thing. Yeah, I just music a bad man thing, Is it one out of two? Is it you have bad man or you have money? That's it.
So you guys figured, say, okay, let's go to young artist route and
Yeah.
try and build it up from there. Okay, have that out. What was one of the earlier songs? Was it the Alkaline and Spice? Were you guys recorded after that song? After
Say
that
again?
rhythm? The
Yeah, man.
Alkaline and Spice. That
Yeah,
was
man, we
the
record that. Yeah, man, we recorded that song like in maybe like April, May of 2014. Spice was one of the first boss artists we give a strength with alcohol. After
How did that come together?
I one of her dancers used to their own. Leave it right there, so. So that was how melody. I used to work in a clothes store, in a Spice clothes store. So we just leverage, you know, the proximity and
Mhm.
make it happen.
And she was happy to do the project at that
Yeah,
time, or
man.
you had
Yeah,
to
man.
convince her?
Yeah, man. No, we never have to convince her. I want to tell her, say, boy, I still remember those, like Spice. She come in the studio, she spent a long, like, she learned her part because Alkaline, they write the whole song. She
Oh,
learned
he
her
wrote
part.
the whole song.
Yeah, man, he write the whole song. She learn her part, she voice it, she come to every single interview where we do on an early morning radio. Yeah, man, she show up at 5 o'clock and come at the radio interview them 6 o'clock. Me have to tell her Spice, big up. That's what I say. Yeah, man, she really give you a strength.
How come you guys didn't film a music video for that song?
We never have no money. Fuck, we didn't have any money. Cause me mama Beenie Man up. Listen, I'm me did I finance all of the projects.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So if Beenie Man, if me never work with Beenie Man, me not have no money. Anytime I go up on tour, make a money with Beenie Man, me come back and spend it in the Alkaline career. That's it.
Yeah.
All of that year, Beenie Man money box Alkaline. and what me could have sell, cause me start sell out my keyboards and my whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Why did you have so much confidence that this thing is gonna work?
But I felt it.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, me did just feel it. I did believe. I genuinely believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
But what was it in particular that made you say, "Yo, this thing's gonna work"? And you've never walked this road before, so you don't. What is it that you know?
I am a extremely me passionate and as you can see, me run away from here, come a country, go sleep on the floor, see you guys, just set myself go to school. So me passionate and me come from nothing.
Mhm.
As me used to trap cane as a youth. Yeah, so me used to sell Guinea and Negril, walk up and down the sun hat. So me come from nothing. So to become a Kingston and tour the world, and these are things that not supposed to happen, not with my profile. You see what I say? And when I saw when just to see Alkaline had the same passion in him, cause me know him did that boss. Me no meet people where match me with passion and energy. You see what I say? So me meet a you like we were on the phone every day. Like we did obsess. You see what I mean? There was no day off this I go work. You understand? So when me meet if me so passionate and me, I go always get the things that I want. Unless life said no. And him passionate the same way, and there's no way it wouldn't work. No way. Yeah, man, I the belief, man, it was a insatiable appetite for success, man. On a different level. We used to sit down and watch one YouTube video named The Secret. I don't know if you ever watched that. Yeah,
Of
man, we used to
course
we
I watched it.
brainwash yourself, man, into success. Yeah, man.
Mhm.
It's deep.
Yeah. No, because you could tell that clearly there has to be something. Because again, when you're just casually listening or passing by, okay, it's cool. But once you really start to look into things, you can see, okay, clearly there was something really special here.
The industry will never forget it.
Mhm.
Never. Yeah.
100% agree. 100% agree with that.
He
So, okay,
will
you
never
guys,
he will never forget it.
Mhm.
Never.
That's nothing you could
You
forget.
can't outlive it. No, you can't outlive it. No matter how rich and successful him get and all him get. He knew that whatever we did was just, the moment in a history.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even if it's shared amongst 3 or 4 people, we're the only ones that know this. But we all know the truth of this is how this started right
Yeah,
here.
that's why sometimes when me talk, I'm not talking to his fans, I talk to him. Cause him know.
Mhm.
Me not care about what people think. Him know.
Mhm.
He knows.
Got it. How did that song, the Spice and Alkaline do, the only thing we want? How did that song do for him at that point there?
I think it just brought more eyes, curiosity, cause he never really bossed him. Just curious. Most of the stuff we did that year was more people like, all right, him body no, all right, not too bad. We'll go and watch him. It Spice putting us on her platform was just more people like, all right, me see, me hear him, me go and watch him. They were just, him did boss already, but them did wait for the right song. And that's why when the right song they drop, it was so easy. Once
because the
1, 2, 3
rumbling
drop,
was happening.
yeah, 1, 2, 3. Once 1, 2, 3 drop, it was just the people them like, see there, this is how we have it.
So how did you guys connect with who did you connect with first? Notnice or Anju Blaxx?
Notnice.
Notnice. How did Notnice get involved with the situation here?
Notnice was our base in terms of the studio we used to go every night.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody else never around there. Like other studios, them it was hard to get. Like, you know, like Anju Blaxx studio was popping at the time, so a lot of artists around there we have to sit around wait and bleach on them and wait. You know, boy, it take well long to get where projects them from. But Notnice. He was in a little rut at the time, so it was super convenient. And not only that, the cartel connection. So we did plan to just, you know, work that.
Yeah. And he has the insight to certain cartel-y type of things at this point here. So
100%. Them used to talk about that since I used to allow them to talk. But me know 100%. He milked that, which was great for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in there. So okay, so then that was your base. So then how did you even get introduced to him in the first place then?
So Alkaline and Notnice met before. Alkaline actually suggested we went by Notnice because him said, me and him meet him before, man. And then the whole tattoo thing was circulating. So when we go back on Notnice, because Notnice was like, the money are mad money. So yeah, we just, it was easy because again, as me say, it's not like a lot of people was around it.
Mm-hmm. So then how did Anju Blaxx now get involved with the situation?
So Anju Blaxx, Chris Ross, my business partner, he knew Anju Blaxx. You know, so we just, as me said, we kick off door. We just showed up. We kept showing up until we get where we want.
Mm-hmm. When did he start to see or even believe in the project, or did he even believe in whatever you guys were doing at first?
Anju Blaxx?
Took a lot of convincing. Yeah.
He believes, but I think like most hot producer, them are wait for it happen first. You get me? So like most of the songs in on the first mixtape, not the first, the second mixtape, not Youngest and but that mixtape will be dropping in September. I don't remember the name, but
was that the one that Tads did the distribution? It had like 1, 2, 3, and it had a couple Notnice. It even had some Anju Blaxx productions on it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, that some of them songs in a mix. But we just then say, yo, we are dropping mixtapes, so we get the demo, we drop them. You know? Because as me say, he was the big producer at the time. Everybody want Anju Blaxx first them. So we just take whatever we could get.
At that point there, because I heard you say already that it was really Anju Blaxx and not really Notnice that really boss Alkaline, but most people have it as in Notnice was the one that boss Alkaline.
Yeah. Okay, so as I said, Notnice was the base. That's what we got every night. But in terms of the producer that had the most clout at the time, it was Anju Blaxx. So but a 1, 2, 3 boss Alkaline real. But that was an Anju Blaxx production. You understand?
Okay,
Cartel did the
I
rhythm.
get what you mean.
Yeah, you know, what a big artist did the rhythm there. So that was a song that push him over the line. You understand? But in terms of Low Make Me Live My Life, them song, the voice are not nice studio. You know? But in terms of the rhythm we're bossing, the real way, is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, man.
And that was 2013?
2013, yeah. End of 2013.
Because it was like a little end of 13, early 14, a lot of stuff was happening in that 3 to 5 month space, right?
Yep. That was when my life just went like, yeah, man, we finally, we are see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then somebody just closed back the tunnel. That's exactly how I felt. I said, yes, we see light.
It's
You know?
working. Whatever we're trying is working. You
Yeah.
actually seen it working from
Yeah.
a thought to it actually getting somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
man.
it just
And then you run
started.
out and lock the tunnel.
Was there any cracks in the situation where you could see, okay, we're getting more popular and the artist might be moving away, or what was it? Was there, or just everything just happened one time?
There were slight hints, but I'm so busy trying to talk to radio, book shows, just to try and manage.
Mhm.
That me not paying attention to stuff, to be honest, like that. But there are two, like every time I look back, there are two things I remember distinctly. The first was one day when he called me and asked me how much for dub plates because his sister wanted. You know? I was like, okay, that's a little weird. Like, why is this someone know about dub plate? But anyway, that was one. And then the second time that we went to a show in Montego Bay. And the sister was just mad, like, because they never used to be around. They weren't around.
They weren't around at first.
No, when we have video shoot, we beg them to come and, you know, probably cook or just help. You know, we used to like money craze, we cut up all heap of money. And, you know, we just spend days, burn CDs, and then we used to burn like 100 CD every day. And stuff like that, we used to beg help with. No. There was no help. So my girlfriend at the time she did all of that, you know. So, but after the show, they start come around now. I remember going show a movie and she was just mad the entire time. I mean, never, and like afterwards, me really put two and two and say, yo, she just mad because I make collect the money, you know.
But if she wasn't around in the first place, but I guess clearly it's his sister. So then even if you didn't really understand what I was doing at first, but you get it now, you're still gonna link back. So did she want to be a part of the management team? Was that ever discussed, or it was
No.
just
It was never
that was not it?
I don't think there was an interest to be a part of the management team. I think there was an interest to like, all right, Uno can go on. Yeah, that was it. Uno can go on now. Like, we could. There was never any like there was no discussion. Even when they call and say, boy, me I rob him out. There was no discussion. It just went from 0 to 100, like out of the blue. I swear to you, like it's something I'm replaying in my mind a million times. Like, what the hell happened? You know? Me no know.
So when the ruption started to happen between you guys, how long were you guys working at this point here now?
So remember it was before contract it was a year and some months, and then contract it was a year into the contract.
Okay, so you guys did under 3 years of work, basically.
Basically.
Okay, and there wasn't really no issue. And then because to me, because you were producing, you were management, but it seemed like most of the heavy lifting when it came to production was coming more from Notnice, Anju Blaxx, ZJ Chrome. These type of people here, they were doing the heavy lifting with production, because I think the biggest song that you guys actually came out on your label would have been what's the song again? Move Mountains would have been probably the biggest song that you guys actually produced.
Because as I said, I wanted to get him out there. So to be honest, like me in my inexperience, I saw other producers as them a help me with that part that women have to stress myself about. That in my inexperience, that's what I saw. Right? We have a studio, them can work on the music. All right, great. I can go out there and get him out there. You understand? So my everyday was how to get this product out there. That was my everyday. So me drive up and down, give out CDs, link with the radio, just network. The youth them will sell CD on the road, bus man them play, you know, taxi driver. Anybody who have some music in them car, you know, link with the DJ them from Irie to Zip to that the FM this so. You understand? So that was my everyday. You understand? So me, the production side was me being happy. take that, me play it full, you know?
But if you had more experience and looking back on the picture now, do you think you would have made those same moves that you did right now? That you did back
100%
then?
no. No, because first of all, like, I spent a lot of money promoting a lot of those songs.
Mhm.
So I had zero leverage or percentage in those songs. I had nothing. Because again, we never, it's youthful exuberance. That's it. I just, me did just me have a project where me I work on and I was just working blindly.
Mhm.
Blindly. Because again, it did not, and I how me think, and that's why I'm the easiest person to screw over. Cause me I tell you, if me and you are virgin and me and you good, me not go ever look say you go stop me now about. Cause I will never do that. You understand? So me I look in the side of my eye and they say, boy, you know, say when him good him I go cut. It never crossed my mind. At no point me just say, boy, I'm in virgin this and we are got, you know, just like how we drive up and down in a stream for how much months. I see him we are gonna just go around the world. So what if we're rich? I know that we did I do that. So we love this and this one do. Some did I view it.
The money just happened to be the byproduct of
Yeah.
doing what we loved.
Yeah. But I didn't care about the money.
Mhm. So you, at no point besides those two little incidents, you never thought that there would be an incident where
No.
we're no longer going to be on this path
Never.
together.
Never crossed my mind. Never crossed my mind one time.
Did anybody in the industry kind of warn you, try to
Yeah.
kind of school you or anything?
Yeah. Stampede at one point. Brigger at one point say, yo, you're a musician, you talk about you work with artists, go and take up a keyboard and go play. And Johan from Hype TV, when we run out of money and I was gonna sell the car,
Mhm.
him say, yo, artist ungrateful. But I never know what they mean, right?
Mm.
You never know. I had no idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because you're blinded by everything going on at this time here now.
Yeah, me just I had a boy them something that sound weird. You see how them something in the back of my house?
Mhm.
I had something like that in my house of Alkaline, you know.
What do you mean?
Yeah, man, I had a shrine man with him backstage with him name cross it like just when we want to see him reach. Cause it was just amazing to me to see this little youth when me know, when me meet, he never on the shoes, like him reach, cross the level of success and him big and him rich and him happy and him achieve everything we want to achieve. Me did want to see that. That's what I wanted to see. Me did want to see that process there.
So it was basically like a vision board that you had about
Yeah,
that.
I had a, yeah. Mhm.
And how did the industry start to treat you guys? Because remember, you're originally Beenie Man's keyboard guy. That's who you are basically to the industry.
Every
You
time
was this
people see,
artist.
every time them see me, they ask where boss there.
Right.
That was the most popular question. Cause there's no way on a two little youth to do all of them something. There's no way.
Mhm.
All the time. First time I meet a couple DJs and I go, yo, where boss there? I am the boss. Like no go so. Yep.
Mhm. Because they couldn't fathom how you guys are actually doing this.
Yeah. Didn't make sense.
Mhm.
Many tried and failed.
But again, as you said, I think it really came down to youthful exuberance.
Yep.
That was your superpower at that.
There was no fear.
Mhm.
Yep. Just like a kids, they fire and just run towards it. In a business, it look pretty.
And did you actually get to start flying out with shows with him, or you guys were doing more?
We
shows
did
with him?
one show. We did one show in Costa Rica. And that was another Beenie Man link.
Okay.
Yeah, man. DJ them at Costa Rica. That was the first place him really pop off. You know, because I knew the two biggest DJs in Costa Rica. And they really supported me, you know. And with the one show at Costa Rica, them smuggled me in Costa Rica because we needed a US visa to get in. They smuggled me in. Yeah, man, through Panama. I got there. I think that was when him really see, like, the first fan we meet him, the girl was just trembling, like, me can't believe me, you know? I think that was when he was like, all right, me a superstar now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's working.
It's working.
Yeah. So you guys were more concentrating on more local shows in Jamaica at this point here then.
Yeah, we were doing mostly, when you're just bust as an artist, everybody keep them like a party and them like a show. You make your like a $150,000, $200,000. Was most of those kind of events.
Got you. So you guys didn't reach to the level like Sumfest and all of those things there yet.
Yeah, we did Sumfest in 2013. I worked on
did
that
it in
for
2013?
Yeah, man. Me have the video there. Yeah, man, we did to Sumfest in 2013. Me play with Ruff Kutt and the road manager sing.
I get out of here, man. So hold on. The manager is playing with Ruff Kutt and the road manager is singing, boss?
Yeah.
You can't make that up. You cannot make that up.
Never seen before.
Holy, that is wild. That is wild. So then you were still kind of playing with Ruff Kutt while you were dealing with him at the same time? Or
they was my only income.
Okay, but I thought you were with Beenie Man, ZAGGAZOO this time here now, when you were dealing with
The 2013 Sumfest, Ruff Kutt hired me to play with Ruff Kutt. I think Nigel's staff wasn't around.
Okay, so so you guys smoothed over everything, whatever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, how long they can have me up for? They understood. I started going at the heat at the moment, but me and Ruff Kutt good, man. We've been good since like a couple months after.
Good. And what was that like now, being on the stage with your artist now? You're playing for an artist road manager. What was that like?
Yeah, feel like a proud daddy. Yeah, man, it was fascinating. Yeah. As me say, you feel like it'll work. Yeah. Slowly but surely.
For sure.
Yeah,
Big there. That same year, Sting, I think, was 2013. How come you guys didn't do Sting that year?
Whole heap of thing did happen backstage. Too much. And them tell we at time, but it was just a lot of stuff. With this, we left. Because them didn't want to put we on like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. If you're a young artist, you're going to kill him career. You understand?
Because I guess that's when the Ninja Mans and the Bounties or whoever is the big artist at that time, that's where they come out and really shine.
Yeah, and put him on the song. Yeah, and a couple disrespect. Whole heap of thing they going backstage, so we decided to just leave.
So you guys were there for the 2013?
Yeah, we were there the entire night. That's why the money the deposit that we got for Sting, we just used it and buy a suit. Yeah, man. Yeah, Ramesh made the suit.
Ramesh made the suit?
Yeah, man. Your suit for 2013, Sumfest, Ramesh made it. As we get the money from Sting, we send it over to Ramesh, and Ramesh made it.
Yeah. No, man, it seems like you were really hustling, because you said you were taking money from Beenie Man show this year, about to go sell this, just to really make everything work. So you really hustle. You didn't have a big bank account, a line of credit, or something where you could just continually to fund this thing.
Nah, if money come, I'm spend it, I'm broke. There was no lineup, nothing. There's nothing. Like me get $100,000, and pay my bills them on my yard, and my girl help me and made as much as possible. Let me can't spend as much. Like we used to real like, yeah, man.
Yes. No, that's wild there. Because even because I know this is where everything started to crumble, was right after Sting, which would have been 2014, going into 2014.
Yeah, it was after Sting. Yeah, it was just after Sting, just before the show, we were having a show. So because he never did Sting, we came up with a grand idea that we're going to have him in concert alongside Ruff Kutt. So people can get to see him in Kingston, because they were not seeing him in Kingston, right? And I don't know. Me borrow some money if you invest in that show. And thing. I don't know. I think that was a show that prompted the whole. I don't know. But I don't know. I wish one day after we all, he will explain certain things to me. Because eventually we are going to talk. By the time, even if you reach 60-year-old, them time they mean I'm 70s. We are going to reach us to old man. Now we're some wide room, And he can explain it, make it make sense in my brain, because it still don't make sense mentally.
So what So what was happening at that time there that wasn't really making sense to you there?
Well, I was at home just doing what I do, which is networking, linking with taking shows, because let me tell you, the local shows them that are coming, you understand? I try to keep things together. He was at home, and then me just get a call. I say, yo, some thieving thing I go on and money I rob up. You know, so there was no context. It wasn't a conversation. It was just screaming. So I say, yeah, I'm going yard, and then when I went there, I'm just the whole family was there. Them pop off. They pop the hell off, man. So me just left because me I said it's embarrassing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but me I got to we don't want to talk about this stuff.
We're about to. That's why we're about to exit this because there's some more stuff.
Yeah.
But again, speaking to somebody like you, I don't think would give this conversation justice if I didn't ask certain questions to really tie this loop up. If you understand.
Me understand, man. Is this is just something that a lot of media houses are running on and whatnot, and I don't want, as me say, no matter what I say in the context that I say, people online I say me mad, me crazy, if me want a money, if I suck me a look. I mean, my life is great. I'm great. You know, but the fact say me I have conversation about the same way people think, say a long time ago, get over it and move on. You know, which I understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, like major events like that in your life, you don't just get over it and move on. And it's not that me not get over it and move on, but it's still a part of my story, right? And I did something in music that nobody now got erased. Them say Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica how much years ago? Why we not get over it and move on? You understand? So I'm not gonna get over and move on the things that I've done and achieved in music. You understand? And that was a part of my achievement in music. So I'll talk about it, but I don't really like go over the details too much because it helped money gone. I move on with your life, I move on with my life. You know? But as me say, I will talk about it, but me don't really want to dwell upon it, you know, like that.
Okay, so then let me just ask you a couple more and we'll just wrap this up and get to where we're going now. How transparent were you as a manager, you and your partner, to him in the first place? So you see, if $1 came in, 99 cents went out, this is what's left or whatever. How transparent were you guys with each other at that point?
Okay, so let me explain something to you. We started making money in like the October, right? And
October 2013?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was when we get the first show. Paid like $180,000. Usually when we get the money, we get a deposit. He's gonna want a bunch of care. So it was very difficult for me to say, I may get $90,000, just take out my percentage and send the rest to him. Because he wanted a bunch of people, right? So wherever, how much care we go with, I'm me responsible for them. Remember, me broke, me not have no more money. I literally didn't have any more money. I was broke. So when this $180,000 come in, now we are drive with 5 car, 10 car go a country, and people want money and people want jerk chicken on the road. It's gonna come out of the $180,000, right? So when we come back to Kingston, whatever is left out of our expense, that is documented, and we give him whatever and forget out of it. You understand? So I think what started happening was that it was the expectation was, if the issue was why my money I buy gas put in a car and why my money I buy jerk chicken for them money, it could have been discussed. Because it's not like I did not make $1. None of it went in my pocket. That's why when the whole issue of stealing come up, I'm like, bro, we don't have no money. I didn't get any of it. It all went back into this big presentation that you wanted to make. You understand? And that's what the money did. So if that was what them said, boy, I teach you money. I mean, you could have said to me, say, yo, I go on. Me feel like if me get $100,000 and you say you take 20%, me get 80 grand out of it. We could have do that. And then if you want 5 car, you just take care of the 5 car and take that off of my plate because it was headache for me anyway. And me never want to go on no show with no bag of money either. You wanted it. You understand? So I think that was where the whole stealing concept came from. But as me say, it wasn't a conversation. It just went straight to an argument that
So
I
you,
didn't know how to address or fix. I was
so
not
you
even
didn't.
given an opportunity to address. You understand?
Okay, so you didn't initiate a conversation. Your business partner didn't initiate a conversation, or he didn't initiate a
No,
conversation either.
no.
So it was basically like a silent thing where it said, okay, if these people are coming, you have to take care of them. But where's this money coming from to take care of this entourage of people? It's not falling out of the sky. Where is it coming from? But I guess that's the part that everybody didn't really openly discuss. Is where's this money coming
Too
from?
much. And to be honest, like, yeah, me blame myself. Probably I should have find the time to talk about that. But again, as me say, me in it. I was just, I when I show up, let me try sort this out. If I ever at one point thought there was issue in the house, would I deal with the issue in the house? But me now focus on the issue. Me never think no issue was in the house. I thought the house was fine. I was dealing with issues on the outside. You know, me go a show with promoter and if I show done the promoter, care thing come give me and say, yo, me nah no money, you know, hold on on this and me I say, brother, I money me want. Then I hold it thing in face and there. So me I focus on all of them things there and try and make sure say, yo, we come back home safe and everything good and what. So me never know say internally there was stuff happening. And if I knew, I would have tried to work it out. You know, but as me say, I move from 0 to 100, like, what? Oh, we have problem. Me never know. You never say it. You know?
And did you have any manager mentors around you at that time to really show you the ropes, or you're just basically building the plane while it's flying?
Building the plane while it's flying. 100%. I don't think that would have made a difference. If management was the issue, he would have gotten a manager, meaning a professional who understand the industry, or move on to somebody else. That was not the issue. The plan was to keep it in-house. That was exactly how it played out. That was a plan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess if I ever get a chance to speak to him, I'll have to ask him why, because I don't think you could answer the why
He's not going to answer that.
Mhm.
And that's fine. That's fine. Like, as me say, me not really like one dwell on it because I've been talking about this for a long time. Because as me say, my perspective is not important. And his perspective will never be given. I may understand why I'm a superstar, why me I go give this thing no energy, me rich, I'm happy. Oh, you man, you understand? So me get that, you know? So yeah, it's fine.
So right now, when did everything crumble? It was 2014, everything crumbled?
2014, yeah.
Do you have I'm pretty sure in your mind you have a date when this happened. When did everything just crumble down to zero?
I don't have the exact date. I think I knew it crumbled down to zero when we met with the lawyers. And because, yeah, after that meeting, I was like, yo, I don't know how this went from 0 to 100, but this is it done.
And how long did that meeting take to actually happen between you guys?
Like maybe like 4 weeks or so, like a month.
Okay, because you thought it would have been just, okay, you're mad now. Couple days you'll cool down. We'll
Yeah,
get
man,
back
me
to
try
business.
call him whole heap of time.
Yeah. So, okay, you're here now. The main act is gone from Cahban Rekords. You and your partner are still here. What were you guys' next move? How did you guys figure we're going to move forward from this situation here?
So my plan was that we are known now in the industry. Let us voice up some rhythm, because right now, big artists would have 100% voice away. My business partner had other ideas. Did I try and make a gospel artist into a secular artist? And me, I am a reader. Like I research, and the only person if I do that was Sam Cooke. and he had to move across state to do that. You know, it alright for you be a bad man and a gospel artist, you know, but a gospel artist is not a bad man. People be like, brother, what you do? Go back at your church, sir.
Yes.
So I didn't really believe in that, and that was when we split. I was in a split because I was not going to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so then not only did your bigger artist leave, now you split with your business partner.
Mm-hmm.
And how long did all of this take to happen? Was it within a month, 6 months, a year? When did all of this happen?
By the end of 2014. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it rained, it poured.
Boom, spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
The end of 24. So 2013, 12 was amazing. Great. We're doing all this good stuff. We're making some ways in. 2014 seemed to me one of the hardest years that you've
Welcome.
had in this business.
Yeah. 2014 was the hardest year of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Hardest year of my life to date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Breaking up with the partner. So then what did you decide to do now? So you're basically back to square one. You're
zero.
on your own.
I went back, I'm go country
Mhm.
because I needed perspective. I needed to get away from all the heat and just everything that was going on. And kind of just, me like go country because country kind of remind me say me born with nothing. And me used to climb tree and find food and I was quite fine and healthy, you know. So me like fit do that. Cause it really zero me and put me back in my zone. You know, so everything that come my way is a blessing. Cause I yes I'm born and grew and anything that happened in my life, me not supposed to have it, you know. So I went to country and I stayed in country from 2014, 2015 until 2016.
Okay, so you're out there for 2 years. So what were you doing for work? Are you just chilling? What were you doing?
I was chilling mostly, and then I started working at a school, and then I was like, and in 2016, start of 2016, I came back to Kingston and I started managing another artist.
This was when Prohgres came into the picture.
This was when Prohgres came in the picture.
Okay. How did you link with... Okay, one thing before we even get to Prohgres.
Yeah.
The company's name is Cahban Rekords, right?
Cahban
And
Rekords.
I like how you spell the records because the records is really chords inside a record. So I seen what you did there. I get that.
Oh, you see.
Yes, I seen that part there.
Okay.
So then you and your business partner split. So how did you end up keeping the name altogether?
We signed an agreement, and because he wanted to do other stuff, and he had his form his own thing and whatnot. It was easy.
Okay.
You know, so all the work that we did before when he was apart, he still get percentage, and I get. It was easy. We know, yeah.
Proper. So then that wasn't a thing. So then now with Prohgres now, what made you decide 2 years later, I got burnt first time around, but I'm still willing to do this again? What made you decide to?
Me not have no sense. So Prohgres a good youth. I'm gonna tell. So Prohgres a good youth. It's what I say. I mean, never. A big part of it was that it was not my money that was being spent. So, to be honest, in the back of my head, it was like the most I will lose out of this is time. Right? So I was like, let's go. And then we decided that we're going to sign a contract with the manager that signed him. That me and, you know, split percentage and whatnot. And he just kept dragging his foot on that. And that was when I was like,
Mm-hmm. You could understand the signs and see the signs this time around.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Because at one point, I remember he had 1 and 2 big songs out,
Yeah.
you know, where you're hearing a lot of rumble from Prohgres. But
Yeah,
then
man.
after a while, it just kind of, rumble came, rumble gone.
Yeah. Branding.
Mhm.
What was the branding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't use the same branding stuff that you used for Alkaline because they were two different
Total.
artists with two different personalities.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think he understood branding as much and the importance of branding. And you staying in that box until people buy into your brand, and you continue feeding them people that in the box and don't jump out, left them the first two songs you get. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, and how long did that situation last for?
Until from January, and by August, I was on a plane. Like, I'm done with this shit.
You weren't trying to invest your time into this too much at all? this point?
No, because no, like me I get older. You understand? Me in my 30s now. Like, get this shit together, man. What's up? You know. So me just decided to focus on my life, and I mentally said to myself, I'm gonna give myself 10 years. Just me.
So at that point there, you decided you no longer to do anything in the music business after?
No, not invest my time into artists. Anything when I go do in the music business, I have to reflect back on me.
So then what direction did you go from there then?
I came here and I used to play band, you know, just to survive. New country, new environment, new everything. Me, I start from ground zero just to get my foot in, and then I went back to school.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I went to Five Towns College that I went Maroon 5 and White John and the whole of them went to.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So when there, did my graduate studies, and yeah.
At that point there, so then when you say you were around, okay, what did you take in college?
I did my master's in music.
Master's in music. Okay, music business or music theory?
No, it's only called masters in music because they taught you did the practical and the theory. Yeah, but it involved music business and.
Okay, so you see the thing with it is you actually took music to the highest level you could with the practical and school. You understand? It's like I'm touring the world doing this, plus I'm in school educating myself in the meantime also too.
Yeah.
And you turn around and teach it for a while too.
Yeah. I still teach it right now.
Yeah. So
I teach music production right now.
that's wild. Because when you got to the States, were you playing with a band called Jamrock Stars?
Yes. Boy, your research, my man. Man. Afraid. So most like when the artists then come from VPs, Jamrock Stars connected to VP Records.
Because that had on the two brothers there, Shams and his brother Robert.
Yeah, man.
And I think Troy too, which is Red Rat's brother.
Yes. Yeah. Your research, man.
Listen, again, I remember when I sent you the DM, you got back and I said, yeah, I'd like to sit down. And then you took a couple of days and said, yeah, let's do it. It's because, again, somebody like you that you don't do a lot of interviews, this person has to trust you that you're not just here for the sensationalism and all of those stuff there. Where am I going to ask questions? Yes, I'm going to ask questions. Was there a point where you said, okay, I want to jump out? Okay, we'll get up but I'm going to ask. You know what I mean? But that's not the main part of this. I'm really interested in who you are. That's why I sit down, do my research so we can learn while I'm talking also.
Yeah, man.
You understand? Yeah, man. So so how long were you with Jam, or that was just more like a side hustle that you were with?
So whenever I'm going on a show with them like in the next 3 weeks or so. Like whenever we have me know when it comes on like with touring and playing, it's just like with interviews. Like I just don't get up and just run and do stuff. No. People let me know. Like I was on the road with TOK to them and my brother, I know them, I trust them. I youth them when me know and I go violating and all. You get what me I say? So like people like them that when me know over the years, me and them good, them can always call me and me jump and get it done. Cause I think I'm at a place now in music that I do what I want to do and not what I have to do. you know, because I spend the last, as I tell them, to give myself 10 years, put myself and my life in a comfortable place where me not run it down. It's not a hustle for me anymore. You know?
Rapper.
Yeah.
Because I think you were also involved with another band in New York. They're called Jenna Roots.
Yeah, man, Jenna Roots too. You know. Yeah, Jenna Roots too. So as I tell you, like, since I've been in New York, I've played with a few bands, you know. That was always my little thing to get, especially when this a cold place, man. Yeah, you need to get you know, keep your fingers them nice and warm. So I did the band thing on the weekend and do my 9 to 5 in the week. Yeah.
And it's still teaching music in some capacity right now.
It's always teaching music. I don't teach any. It's whether music business, or music production, you know, because that's a big thing here. You're well paid, well paid, you know. So yeah, man, that's something that I do constant.
What is it about music that keeps you coming back, even though you've had some interesting highs, devastating lows, and all? What is it about music that just keeps bringing you back? I'm pretty sure with the way you think, you could apply yourself to a lot of other things, but you keep applying it to music. What is it about music?
I think, well, for one, me know some music saved my life. I mean, like, as me tell her, there's a lot me skip in them years that when me live with this lady, when me start the music. Like, I was suicidal, you know, whole heap of, yeah, man, a whole heap of thing, me just skip over. Yeah, man, a whole heap of things happen. My music was my escape. You know, music was my escape. There's a comfort in my soul whenever me there on music. You know, no matter what turmoil I go on, once me there on it, it's just my dream. You know, no matter how rich I get in life, no matter what I have, my dream is to actually tour the world with what group of me brethren them. You saw me, I say, with an artist, sorry. You get what me, I say, we up on the road, different country happen. Yeah, the money is a plus, but I know the money more experience the world, the global threat in there. With some people, I trust and we could, you know, eat some food and your belly run you and we laugh off you. You know, it's just, I want to experience that with a group of, you know, I wish it was people I may know from longer time, you know, but whichever way it happens. But that's my dream. Like, for me, even for my retirement, I want to be on the road with, you know, yeah, man, I want to experience that.
You really enjoy being on the road, especially on a package where you took from 0 to 100 and see how the world accepts this creation that you guys as a team put together, and now you're bringing it to the world.
Yeah. There's also like people just complain about our professionalism in music around the world. I want to show them so we can do that. You know, because that's one of the reasons why people shy away from the industry too. You know, it's risky, it loud, it is disruptive in a lot of ways and whatnot. So you see that professionalism there, and can walk in a space and do what you need to do and be on time and whatnot, you know. But I love to show people that side of us because I know it exists.
But remember, dancehall and reggae is built on, especially dancehall, is built on rebel culture. So you're trying to form something that doesn't come with form in the first place. So then you're going to give yourself a lot of headache thinking that I could do this thing with it, make it professional. It was never intended to be professional in the first place. It's anti-professional.
And you see, I disagree with that so much because you see, this is what we don't get. The music can be rebellious, right? The music can be rebellious. The artist can dress rebellious, but we still can be professional. Your manager can still answer them phone and give you realistic prices, have a business conversation with you. You understand? Like, look, the hip hop industry is rebellious. But I'm sure if you call their business people, you have business conversation with a lot of these people, right? That is a part of us that is missing, and I don't see why it can happen. And that's what made Beenie Man who he was.
Okay, so then I guess we're speaking two different things. Your manager, those people that handle your business, they're supposed to be professional.
Yes.
But you see the artists, the music, what it comes with is built on rebel culture. So
That's
to have
That's
being that
understandable.
professional, no way.
No.
But your managers, of course, you're supposed to be professional.
But it's not true. Have you ever tried booking a dancehall artist?
Listen, I've been in many aspects of this business, and yes, I have. I've booked
was it?
artists. We sent for dub plates. All of this. It's a very interesting experience to say the least.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
the point. Have you ever been around Stacking Vibes?
No, I haven't been. I know people, Beenie Man and the people that I'm around, but I've never really been
No,
in
but
the
the
camp to really
complex itself.
No.
Stacking Vibes are complex, you know.
Mm-hmm.
With kitchen, gym, cubicle like a bank, 3-story building. That is Stacking Vibes, you know. Yes. It looked like a bank.
Yeah.
Studio on the ground floor, rehearsal studio on one side, cubicle, main office with a secretary at the front with all the Grammys on the wall and whatnot. It was a complex. Beenie Man career was not just... So Beenie Man, you saw turmoil in the media, but behind it was an industry, was professionalism, was employees, was a whole like, you understand what I'm saying? That is what is missing. So the music and whatever you say front facing can be rebellious. It can be rebellion. But the root and what in our scene, the non-front facing stuff can be strictly professional. You understand? Yeah. So that's the part I think that is missing. Like, I would love to see something like that again in our industry. And I don't see why we can't have it. Why we can't have a complex in Vibes, managing artists. Why we can't have 20 A&Rs in the building, shopping for artists, shopping records, on the phone, marketing, talking to all these people. Why we can't have that? Why you cannot call an artist, call for the artist and you get a secretary that actually follow up? Why we don't have that? I don't get it. There's so much money in the industry. And why we don't have those basic things?
What? Okay, so then why do you think that doesn't exist? I'm pretty sure, like as you pointed out, like Barris Hammond, he has it. Who else probably has a machine like that behind them?
Maybe Shaggy,
Sean Paul,
or maybe.
Yeah,
But I think it's mindset over money, you know. I think it's mindset over money. It's not money. It's not a lack of money. These guys are making a ton load of money. It's not lack of money. You can pay minimum wage is what, $15,000 a week. You can pay one girl $15,000 a week if you answer your calls them and write down stuff and forward emails. Really?
Yeah.
That's nothing. You can't do that. So those things are basic, and you can get three. And you can also have sales rep, like, give them job. You have to meet quota. Why we don't have people? I don't understand why we don't have this. It is not hard. We're just not willing to do that side of the work.
That's not the sexy side of the work. You understand?
Sexy don't make money. Sexy only look rich.
Hey, but some people are cool with looking the part, not actually doing the part.
That's sad.
But that's the reality. Reality is sometimes sad, and that's just, you know how hard it is to actually be professional, boss?
No.
You know how hard it is to get up and do something the real and proper way, opposed to just doing it whichever way? It's easy to get up and do it whichever way. That's why a lot of people do it whichever way. It's hard to do it the professional way. That's why not a lot of people are doing it.
I get it. I understand. But yet we go up people work go do it. Sad.
I got you, bro.
That's what I want. I wish if somebody would just give me $1 million right now, I'm gonna go to Jamaica to make it happen.
Right, no.
Right.
But even talking about that, I know again, it's like, boss, you don't learn your lesson. You're back again with another artist.
Yeah, I'm back again with another artist. Yep.
What's his name? 17?
17, yeah.
Yes, listen.
My boss by the end of the year.
Okay, you see the thing with it where I believe on that one, because when you sent me the tracker, you just quietly sent it to me. So yeah, check this out. And when I heard, I said, yo, I've been here in this industry. been hearing this. So you see that's you quietly planting your seeds there. Say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm doing. And as you said, by the end of the year, it's a different story.
Bad artist.
Mhm.
Absolutely amazing. So yeah, and everybody said the same thing. Why you do this? And I get it. But as me tell you, me love the music, and you know what? Let me tell you what prompted me to do this. I don't know if you watch some of my TikTok videos, but I
All the time.
complain. So me
All the
complain,
time.
and then one day my brethren called me and say, "You're complaining, but you're not doing anything about it."
Mhm.
So me a part of the problem.
Okay, essentially, yep.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna do my part, and I'm happy this time. And let me tell you why. Same decides a boy, him bust one, him rich, and him gone about in business.
Mhm.
I'm in a much better place in life. I don't need an artist to survive.
Mhm.
I'm quite okay.
So you're not doing it out of desperation, love and desperation. You're doing it out of love from a happy place right now.
That's it. So all of the data fans them can know me no one. I'm okay. Yeah. Not gonna put yeah, I'm happy and all right. I'm well paid, I'm well invested. Yeah, enjoy the stock market now because everything depends on it and whatnot, So yeah, man.
That's how I know you're smart. Listen, but the interesting thing with the Detta fans is like, where you gotta almost laugh is you're the one that helped to create these monsters. You knew what you were created. So then now that it turned on you and you're on the outside, it shouldn't be shocking to you.
It's not. It's not. That was the point.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the point. And as me tell her, 17, I'm going to be the same.
Mhm.
Is the first artist I have in a long time will motivate me for work as hard as when I did work before.
Mm.
Yeah, like Prohgres, talented, but he didn't have the soul and the voice for 17.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, him have something. I don't even think him knows him have it yet either.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So now everything that you gathered from all your journey up until now is what you're going to pour back into this artist here and take it as far as you can, but with a different mindset,
Total.
more mature,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? A way of seeing it and a way of actually making it make sense for all parties involved.
100%.
Mhm.
And have conversations,
Mhm.
and not take things for granted. I'm older too. In my 40s now, I'm a big man,
Yeah.
A big man.
Yeah. You can't shy away from the tough conversation because the tough conversation is what either makes or breaks the relationship.
That's
Instead
it.
of just trying to push it under the rug, say, okay, we'll get to this sometime. Let's just say what we're saying, get it out of the way now so everybody knows where we stand.
100%. I agree.
Oh, definitely. What else is on the horizon for you? You're managing stuff. What else is next for Mr. Cobb?
Well, so I mean, outside of that, I'm into real estate too. Yeah, I'm into real estate. I have a few properties in Western Jamaica, apartment and some other stuff. So I'm doing that too. I'm well invested in the stock market. I'm into stocks and crypto and all them good stuff.
From you said the stock market's on sale. I know you're not just talking out of you. You didn't
No.
get that out of the sky. Clearly, we're speaking the same language because I understand what you mean when it comes to stocks.
Yeah, man, the part see it right now. Any money we have right now, throw it in the stock market. I promise you by next year, you're going to double that or triple it.
Mhm. It
Yeah,
has to bounce back.
Yeah, but it always does. This is the great reset. So it's good for
Yeah.
the economy. I say it. Trust me, what going right now, great.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's just you have to be in a position to take advantage of what's happening right now.
Which
That's
is-
the only downfall for certain people. They might not be in a position to take advantage of what's going on.
Which is what people don't get. And that is why the rich will always get richer.
Mhm.
Because they understand how the economy. I the same playbook, year in, year out. It's the same. It dip. And when it dip, everybody panic when you should be investing.
Mhm.
And then when it get higher, everybody get happy, you're buying.
But it's expensive at that time.
And then you
So-
dip and you lose all your money, and then you say, see that milk. Yeah. We just have
Shake
to-
out the weekends.
Yeah, man. You have to learn the game, and with everything, that's what I've been spending my time. Learning the various game, learning how to survive in this, learn how to survive in America. You know, learning, just where to live, where to safe, where we can raise my family, where we can do this. You know, just
Definitely.
we got it
So
all
you-
out.
Listen, as I said, when I seen your videos, TikTok, Instagram, and stuff, I said definitely I want to sit down and speak to Cahban because it seems like you have a lot that there is to say, but you're not giving everything because I'm not sure if you want to write a book or whatever the case is yet. People bother you online. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you expected that when you started to talk, because if you look at your TikTok and you go down to the bottom of it, you didn't start talking right away. You know, it's
No.
like as you look, it's a little while in. Now I start to talk. Okay.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
pretty-
planned. It was 100% planned. The day when I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to talk, I was like,
Mhm.
brace yourself. Yep. And
And
there's
what- No, go ahead. Go ahead.
there's so much more to talk,
Mhm.
you know, but with time, there's a lot more to talk, but I'm not going to talk certain things yet. Because again, too, you can't just give it all away for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Cahban, excellent, wicked conversation. I can't wait to see what you're going to be doing with Sevanteen.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure you have a lot of other tricks up your sleeve where there's other things that you're working on, because you seem to be very invested in music till it's like, I don't know what they have to do with you to get you out of music. Yeah, you have your other entrepreneur stuff going on. You have your other businesses. But it's like there's this music thing that's just in your soul.
Yeah, man, and now leave. I go stay right there, so I got dead with it. I got dead. Stay right there.
100%. Floor is yours right now. Anything you want to big up, anything you want to say, if there's anything that you want them to check out, leave some contact information where they could get you on social media and all that good stuff before I get you out of here.
Yeah, man. All right, so check out the artist 17. We have a song named Always Remember. That song take the world by storm right now, so check that out first. Me know our social media platform, it is Dwayne Morris 876. Right? One word, Dwayne Morris 876. Instagram, TikTok. Facebook kinda get old right now, but me there Facebook. You know what, that's where I'm at. And yeah, just reach out. I'm here. People know, check out my platform, music advice, music strategy. I do consultations to a lot of people. If you ever see so much big artists in my inbox, I do consultation, help with the strategy, and just how to better your career as a musician and as an artist, or just as a human being and a whole.
You could see it, because when you put out your, I think it was a list of top 10 dancehall artists, you have these lists where actually you have to think about these lists, what you're compiling to actually put together these videos. So clearly it's not a thing that you just came up with.
Oh no,
Flat. You had to do some research.
no man,
and
I
put
work
it
for
together.
research. There's a lot more of those coming out. Trust me, some of them gonna shock people, but there's a lot of research coming out.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to a lot of those. As I said again, thank you so much for actually sitting down and you know what I mean, having a great open conversation.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know what I mean? Dead fans might be happy, they might not, but they will put it out.
No man, you're gonna see some SYM under this video, man. I promise you. I'm used to it right now. You know what's the
Listen.
funniest thing? They cuss me off online, but when they see me in a real life, they must say, "What going bosses?" Or this is the funniest one. They inbox me their music and ask me if we can help.
Listen, I tell people all the time, if social media, if you had to pay 5 cents or 10 cents to comment, social media would be a totally different place.
Yes.
Boss. It's
5
because
cents.
it's free and we could say all type of madness, we'll get it. But the conversations off the air are totally different than what you see people comment where other people
True.
could like and do all that.
It's
Don't
true.
make them fool you. Big
Wrong
up Dead fans same way, I mean.
Yeah.
Bossy, let me give you
Yes.
an outro and get you out of here from this wicked conversation, yeah?
Yes, man. All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinesmusichut.com.